What's up, church? We got our broth. We got our lip.
Friends, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. We are still in the post-COVID, post-nasal drip land. So apologies for our voices and turning to cough off cam. Woke up this morning, got some family-sized bags of Ricola, even though we're a small family. And gonna try to make our way through this. How is everyone?
I'm surprised you leaned into yet more cough drops when yesterday you discovered something's wrong with your tongue. Like your tongue is swelling because
my tongue is swelling. I can't taste anything.
Uh-oh.
Some say that's too many cough drops.
Hey, Moto, Kim, Virginia.
What's up, y'all?
I did put on a bright pink red lip for you. Yes, Kristen, very inappropriate for church.
May I ask, what is it about? Is it a neurodivergent thing to like start to wait to do something until the last possible minute, or is that just a Holly thing? So would it help you if I'm like, hey, it's time to start getting ready for the live stream?
Yeah, sure. Give it a shot.
Here's some broth.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh.
Okay, cool.
What's that stuff in it?
Turkey and vegetables. It made it seem like you're absolutely disgusted by the turkey. Okay. Okay. Here we go. How is everyone?
Virginia.
We had some fun suggestions.
Oh. I'll write them down.
Well, let's see. So thanks y'all for, first off, if you're a Supercast member, thank you very much. That's very, very helpful. If you're not yet, go check it out. If you're a Patreon member, you could have just migrated your thing over there. We're still working on building up the Supercast, and it truly is changing the game for us.
It's so good.
It's so good.
What's his name? I should look. A new Supercast member just contacted us and was like, "Oh, I just became a member for the first time. I've been listening to Mega for a long time, but like the mini." He's like, "I like the mini podcast this much, and it was behind here the whole time, and so this is great." And I'm like, "Yeah, man. It's good." I hope.
And if you are a Supercast member, your suggestions to the front of the line. We had a few trickle through. The Discord, and I will get those right now. Now it just sounds like you're
yeah, discount code Large Marge on the new Supercast subscriptions.
And so yeah, Supercast it's been great. And so if you're wanting some ad-free listening, behind the scenes podcast, that whole thing, and we're talking about doing some new little spin-off podcasts, and I think that could be really fun. So all those will be there. We did have one right in here.
We do have to contact Edgar this week and talk to him about that.
Yeah.
Spin-offs are going to be fun, y'all.
I'm just going to kind of take a half of each of these. One is okay, from Verdant Spore Seasoning on the Discord. I know Popsicle is. Do you want one of these?
Sorry, no.
See?
I have a wrong pipe situation going on over here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, I know Popsicle is older than Greg gets some credit for. What if 3B sits him, and maybe Testicles too? Who's Testicles? I think you're thinking Policles.
But thank you for inventing Testicles.
And all of a sudden, he's ordered himself anti-racist books from Amazon without Gray or CMB knowing, and starts talking about systemic oppression, etc. Okay, I have sort of a half an idea that I'll just maybe
Popsicle. Wait, Hallie's kids help Popsicles buy anti-racist books. That's super fun.
yeah, I think let's just I think I have I think I have something kind of for that. Maybe it's just Popsicle's birthday party
Okay.
and day or when Hallie's daughter's babysits him. I think maybe I don't know. Would we cross those streams of Hallie's daughters babysitting Popsicles?
Oh, I don't see why not.
Okay. It just is like I don't want to have to do too much work to explain it all. Maybe just let's say it's Popsicle's birthday party and let's see. And I like this idea of anti-racist literature.
Okay. Great.
And
As some of you heard, Greg has already cast the last high
Stone.
stream out of the. He's cast it out of the.
You can go watch the high stream. It's still up, but I'm just saying it's too. I don't think there's stuff in there that was like this is going to take too much explaining.
He's not letting any of the world building that happens during the high stream stick.
No,
It's not allowed in the lexicon. Wait, not lexicon. It's not allowed in the paragon.
universe.
It's
the
not
mega,
allowed in the what's it
the
called?
MCU.
Yeah.
And God, sorry, we sound terrible. We have to stop coughing. And
I know. Jeez.
And
Sorry.
okay, yeah. Any
It's not
special
allowed in the canon. Thank you.
programming for Mother's Day? And then Twin Hills. The Right Reverend said Twin Hills is overly complying with ICE, which Gray is all for until they ask him for his documents. Okay, I'm going to take that. Yeah, Chont is forever.
Yeah. Does Chont make it in? I trust you've all been taking care of your chonts this week.
Chont is Mother's Day today? No.
No, it's the 11th.
Okay. Wait. How do we? I mean, I know everyone has different relationships with their mothers, but if you observe Mother's Day, is it a big deal? I kind of feel like Mother's Day is like Valentine's and all those ones that are completely made up by the capitalist system to get us buying more shit. Can we just make a card and I don't know, go to brunch?
Oh, so you're not suggesting to not celebrate it. You want to celebrate it with a card and lunch.
I'm kind of suggesting not celebrating it, but not that. I just think all of those.
I don't think as a man you're allowed to say that.
I want. What if every day is Mother's Day? I guess is what I'm saying. I mean, sure, there are mothers in here that are. I'm going out of town by myself for Mother's Day.
Yes,
see
Kristen.
that feels right.
Yeah,
that feels right.
I think Mother's Day is it's as some of you know, I've been sort of following this grief community, this death doula community, and I noticed that they have a lot of programming around Mother's Day to really help people with the complicated and challenging emotional side of it. And yeah, what happened to Popsicle's mom?
Popsicle's mom, she worked. Oh, this is a good
because it was CMB's son's girlfriend, and she disappeared, right? Because he went in the military.
He was in the military, and then she worked at the supermarket, if I remember correctly. This is a Caitlin, but we I think she worked at the supermarket, and his son was Raylan. I remember his son's name was Raylan. That Clay Mason's son is Raylan Bannerman.
Raylan, okay.
I think.
Okay.
But that's a good. Maybe we have Popsicle's mom show up. Yes, supermarket. Okay, great. And I think Raylan had a vestigial tail.
Oh, really?
She came back briefly. That kind of fell off.
Oh yeah, she did. Maybe we've already done that.
Okay. Yeah.
Poor Popsicles.
Popsicle seems like he's living his best life.
He does. He seems okay, but the poor kid, man.
Okay.
His mom and dad, he's living with his grandfather, who Gray won't even admit is a grandfather.
So Mother's Day at Twin Hills. And Anything else y'all want us to possibly riff on?
I saw Virginia ask for a Lazy River update. We can definitely do that.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
thanks for getting our
Memento.
back. Goodness gracious. So
That's
sweet.
Very sweet.
Popsicles does need some good old Christian counseling. I went to Christian counseling for a while, way back when.
We went to Christian counseling when we got engaged.
I remember he kept giving me Bible verses and having me pray about things.
We went to Christian counseling and we went to you have to have one of these. It'll help.
I don't want one.
You have to. We went to a counselor that it was for financial counseling, Christian counseling, and we were like, yeah, should we have a joint bank account? And he was like, yes, one flesh. We're like, what? And then guess what? We just got a joint bank account 2 weeks ago. Only because they were charging us $25 per month to have one of them. And we were just like, you know what? I guess we can just. I did see Tyler Merritt's post about Trump's post about being
say? Shameful.
I just he kind of gave the "this is not normal" talk, and I thought it was great. But at this point, I mean, are we surprised at all? None of the shock and awe stuff really surprises me. It's all the other stuff they're doing when that stuff is happening that is the scariest shit, I think. I'm also like, if you're Catholic, aren't you just like, and if you're a Catholic who voted for Trump, is it that doesn't do anything for you? I really hope they make an AI Jesus, Trump as AI Jesus. That would be the.
Oh, let's see it.
Let's see if at Christmas time
good.
He's baby Jesus in the manger with a Trump face.
In the manger, baby, he would look great as a baby. But part of me thinks like Trump, like he likes it that everyone loses their mind.
Totally.
And he likes it. He's like, I'm in everyone's mouth. Everyone's talking about me. Like part of it, I feel like, is to show like I can do anything and I will.
Mm-hmm.
This is the equivalent of like, I will shoot someone in the face on Fifth Avenue or Madison Avenue or whatever that original quote was. Like I mean, and part of it, is it to distract from the fact that like, yeah, we're going to lose public access to like information and stuff, like the other things. It's so sad. It's like
maybe baby, I think you got to have one of these.
Okay, sorry, I'm clearing my throat in the microphone. It's terrible.
Okay, before the revolution. Yeah. Oh Lord, these are the times we're in. We're just comedians. We don't know.
I mean,
okay. Are we ready for a little improv? Anything more that
it's a Popsicle's happy day.
Got a lot of Popsicles in there. I mean, Hallie should have some Mother's Day opinions, I think. Be funny if Hallie is going out of town. Maybe Hallie's going out of town by herself for Mother's Day.
Ooh, I'll take after you, Kristen. Or she will. Because Lance is going to do nothing but let her down. Although her kids are really sweet.
We probably need a Lance update.
Oh, yeah.
Popsicles. That's really funny. Okay.
And we have to remember, Kim brought up Popsicles. That remember the last time we talked about Popsicles, he was acting like a dog.
Mm-hmm. Is Hallie going to see 6 Broadway shows in 3 days?
Kristen, what are you seeing? My friend Katie just saw Oh Mary and said it is like astoundingly one of the greatest things ever.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
We have a friend in that right now who's been on Mega, Chris Renfro.
Oh yeah, he's in Oh Mary. What are you seeing, Kristen? My friend also just saw Glengarry.
6 in 3 days, so we're doubling up and seeing the matinee going straight to the night show.
That's so great. All by yourself?
Gypsy Redwood, Oh Mary, John Proctor is a villain, Old Friends, Death Becomes Her. Wow. Hi, Elise.
Whoa. Gypsy. I haven't heard of a couple of those. Kristen, that's so cool. Are you doing it by yourself? This is amazing.
Okie dokie. Yeah, let's improvise. Got your back.
I got your back.
Ow. Got your back.
See, now my fear is that I'm gonna make noise with this thing.
Tuck it in the squirrel tuck it. I just don't. Just if you're gonna do that, you should do
I'm
it off
sorry.
mic.
I'm not gonna do it.
You know, I know we shouldn't do these if we're too sick.
We thought we would be better by now. Cripes.
Pear spray incident.
Wait, was there a bear spray incident? Is that already in the world, or should we put it in?
I don't know if there's a bear spray incident. Was there? Or is this just off the dome, as they say? And as Gray and Hallie should have feelings about
Okay,
the Pope.
Pope. Okay.
I mean, they're in conclave right now, right? Still, we watched Conclave, great movie. Off the dome. Okay, great.
Hallie's sweet, sweet baby Stanley Tucci's in there.
Oh, they're not yet in conclave. They're all flying there. All the cardinals are flying in. Okay, cool. Did anyone else see Conclave? I thought it was excellent.
That little hotel, like dormitory that they live in, if that is in fact a recreation, it is the coldest, most like the design and decor is the most depressing building, hallway, rooms I've ever seen. But I guess they also are like locking the windows shut and stuff so that the cardinals can't get any outside information.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go in like a design show team and be like, all right, Cardinals, let's warm it up in here. Let's get some cool original pieces. Let's get some artwork. Let's get some comfortable, beautiful furniture, make some custom furniture. Yeah.
It just seemed very like, and they don't have any slippers. So that always felt like your feet would be cold if you had your shoes off because everything was stone and no rugs.
I know. They're in desperate need of some really good, like, rugs.
These
like
Catholics need some rugs.
That Buttigieg brought over from Afghanistan.
What?
Remember when Buttigieg told us that like one of the things he was doing in any of his free time in Afghanistan was he would go to the market and buy incredible rugs and send them back to his mom?
I don't remember that.
You don't?
I guess I kind of do now. When he was when he was a soldier,
when he was deployed, yeah.
Wow.
He was.
There's a little inside Buttigieg story.
I listened to him on that terrible. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I did not. Well, I think it's terrible. Those guys who have a podcast who Buttigieg just did. I can't even remember the name of the podcast. But the guys were so obnoxious. They wouldn't shut up, like talking over each other and him. And
welcome to Guy Podcasts.
And one guy just kept being like, Pete, how did you know you were gay? How are you sure you're gay? How do you know you're gay? And how are you sure you're gay? Like, are you gay? Like, how do you know you're gay? And it's like, somebody just let this guy be gay. Like, help this guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of those podcasts.
Oof, yeah.
I actually I don't even know what the guy's name is, and I won't give him any attention. But somehow I stumbled because he had a podcast on a network that I'm doing this other podcast on. I was like, who is this guy? Came over some YouTube guy. He's got like 1.5 million YouTube subs, and his whole channel, it's basically like derivative Joe Rogan of just being like, so what you're saying is he's always trying to ask questions as if he's an authority on anything, but he's not. So the questions are really bad. And it's the classic Rogan thing of he's had some smart people on. So then it's the problem of smart people having to communicate with a moron. And I was like, this guy's got 1.5 million YouTube subs. Maybe I should do that.
I've never listened to. Is Joe Rogan like not an intellectual, but he tries to come off as
Joe Rogan is not an intellectual. I think.
Does he
really
try
fair.
to come off as one, or is he just like acting like a dumb guy talking to some smart people?
No, I think he would. I think his people would say he's smart, but I think it's more just that thing of like, Joe Rogan will never ask a follow-up question or push back on anything with any real authority or it's like go read a book, man. He's just always like interesting, interesting, interesting. So you're saying aliens could have created the vaccine and to control us. Interesting. Okay, interesting. I know. I mean, I feel like Oprah got to the point where she was pretty incisive.
Getting to where she could ask good questions for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. No more media talk. Let's do some improv. Are we ready? I like Behind the Bastards. That is a good podcast.
Ooh, what is that?
It's kind of about the what would you say? The bastards of history.
Oh,
I just added that to my queue.
like using that word as a like the way like
Derogatorily.
Leonardo da Vinci and stuff.
No. Like not real not actual bastards, like you bastards.
Oh, just dickheads.
You bad guys. Yeah.
Bad guys.
The bad guys.
I was so interested in that. Leonardo da Vinci. What's that guy's name? Who makes all the? Sorry, y'all, my brain isn't back. What's the guy's name who makes all the documentaries? Like on baseball and Leonardo da Vinci and
fucking what is his name? See, we have COVID brain.
What? What's the?
Wait, Civil War and baseball and come on,
Ken Burns.
Thank God.
Thank you,
Jesus.
Luis. In the Ken Burns documentary of Leonardo da Vinci, I thought it was so interesting that because Leonardo da Vinci didn't have a father in the home, right? He was raised by a single mom. He wasn't allowed to go to school. And because he wasn't allowed to go to school, he went out into the world and he just taught himself about the world, like through nature and stuff. And then he ended up being so much more interesting and creative than if he'd probably gone to school. I remember going to school and being like, why are you limiting my brain? Why are you limiting everything down to like this finite observable bullshit? I can remember when my brain was like infinite and school was trying to I felt like school was a limiting process where they took your big beautiful brain and tried to like make it into small little systems. But also talk about gatekeeping, like to force people into heteronormative, like.
Do you say gatekeeping or gatekeeping?
Well, both, I guess, because like your child wasn't allowed to go to school. We would withhold education from, if you don't have a nuclear family the way that we have approved and deemed, then you can't go to school.
I'm listening to the Da Vinci biography right now by Matheson. I can't remember who wrote it, but I was just listening to it this morning as I was driving around buying cough drops. Talk about gatekeeping. Da Vinci was gay. He did not talk a lot about it, but as were obviously many know Michelangelo, but also Donatello, a lot of the old masters. And this morning, Da Vinci wrote about how coitus, as in hetero sex, was like the most disgusting thing. And he was like, surely, like if basically he was like predicting that the human race would become extinct because like sex is so between men and women is so disgusting.
He wrote that this morning?
He wrote that this morning on my way to go get cough drops.
Wait, Leonardo da Vinci said heterosex was grody?
Basically. Yeah.
That's so great.
All the Ninja Turtles were gay, except for Raphael. So straight. Okay.
Hey, thanks for being here, friends. It's so fun to have you here helping us with our brains.
Man, we are
and I just love you. I have so much affection for you and for this. It's so nice. It makes me feel less alone. It helps me in my stuff and in my everything.
Honestly, this improv might also not make it because our improv right now is like just a little bit all over the place.
You tell us afterwards. Should this one be posted or not? Let's see.
Yeah, I guess there was some cross species sexual tension with Raphael and April. That's interesting.
Mota, you're in Florida?
Oh,
I didn't know you were. I thought for some reason I thought you were overseas.
Cool Ranch Christ on a Cracker that came out today.
Cool Ranch Christ. Okay, I think I have stuff written down for
Okay, yeah. Let's do this. I think I started recording like 10 minutes ago.
Thanks for enjoying the rambling, Kristen. Thank you.
I enjoy the rambling.
I enjoy just a little bit of community in here, and then improvising while you come up with better bits than we do simultaneously in the chat.
Definitely today. Here we go. Listen to us. God. Isn't it fun?
I'm so sick of this.
It's kind of like being in a tuberculosis ward. Let's go see the improv people that are in the TB ward.
Oh man, I'm sorry you're surrounded by the red hats. Phew.
I feel like we need to get back. What were the red hat ladies? Remember them? Red hat ladies?
The red hat lady?
They were just like middle-aged.
Purple hat? Purple.
Red. I thought it was red hat ladies. It was kind of like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants or something. Does anyone a red hat lady? Yeah, what were they?
Yeah,
I just remember them descending upon a breakfast place when I went to see my grandparents, and my grandparents they wore red and purple. Let's bring back the red hat ladies.
Is that totally over?
Although the red hat ladies probably voted for Trump. They went to shows, events together.
That's so. God, where did that go?
Are they still around? Oh my gosh. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Canada. Yay.
Canada. Oh. Please take us, Ruth.
Can you annex us?
Can we come live with you? Hey, congrats.
The red hat ladies are still
your
around.
Election in Canada. It was a fun rebuke of Trump. And do you feel good about it there in Canada? Are people happy about that? I love Canada. I love Canadians. I think the way our administration is behaving toward our closest neighbor and ally, it is unfathomable. But yeah.
Oh, the red hat ladies
they're
are
still around? Yes.
Okay, this is great.
Okay. Where are you, Jody? I want to know. Yeah, and Australia just did too. Yes. The Canadians are happy. Cool.
All right, let's do a little prov. Colorado.
Okay, you're in Colorado, so there's some red hats keeping it real in Colorado. Okay, this is very cool.
Oh, if you have a chance to give a little thumbs up on the YouTube here, that would always help us. I think it puts it into the algorithm, and sub to the channel so you can chat.
You're north of Denver. I hope we come to Denver. I think our friends, we have really good friends who live in Denver, and we have a good relationship with Rise Comedy in Denver. And that's a really fun place to do shows.
We did a mega show back before the pandemic there.
I'm ready to kind of go back.
That was our first live show.
We were talking about because your friends Guster are going to be playing Red Rocks, and it's such a cool place to see a show, but they're playing with the Bare Naked Ladies. And I was like, I don't know.
I don't think I'd fly to Colorado for Bare Naked Ladies.
Well, I just wouldn't want to be on the drugs that I would be on for Guster. Like, I would have to be on certain drugs for Guster, and they wouldn't work for Bare Naked Ladies. Although, who knows? Maybe Bare Naked Ladies is like
for Bare Naked Ladies.
Maybe,
not even though those guys are very nice, and they everybody that I know that's ever worked with Bare Naked Ladies is like they're the best. Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's in Wisconsin. Virginia, you're in Pennsylvania. That's right. That's right.
Virginia moved to the heart of Amish country.
My people are from Pennsylvania. My grandma comes from Pennsylvania. She grew up swimming in the in Erie.
Susquehanna.
In the wait, what's the Superior Erie?
Erie.
It goes Michigan, Superior, Erie.
Superior is to the west of Michigan.
I'm a Michigander, man. I come from Michigan, and Erie. It's Erie. Okay, yeah. She grew up. My grandma would always talk to me about swimming in Erie, and my grandma also.
I have a weird dream about living on Lake Superior. I just really love it up there.
So Superior would be like the
I
UP
like
and
Canadian.
stuff.
Yeah,
The UP would be cool. I would like to go to the UP. Maybe
it's psychotically cold,
Colorado is
but
pretty dope.
but it is amazing in the
My
summer.
brother's
and
trying
the
to
fall.
move to Colorado and like have horses, and I'm like, wait,
You can do that.
that sounds dope.
We're trying to move to France.
I'm trying to move.
Someplace. We're just trying to move
Yeah, I don't know.
somewhere.
Oh, is the UP full of red hats
Oh yeah,
and not the grandma kind?
a lot of saunas up there though. So let's go.
Okay.
I keep restarting.
Sorry, you keep wanting to.
Well, I keep restarting the recording. So.
And I keep wanting to chit chat with everybody.
You can chit chat.
Let's just chit chat.
Okay, ready? We can chit chat at the end too.
Okay.
Once we hit the hour.
I wish I was going to New York with you, Kristen. I would.
You were just in New York, and you
and I was
didn't
like,
get
I
out of
hate
bed.
this place. I know. I was in such deep grief about Sissy. I can't talk about it. If we start talking about it, okay. Whew. Not the grandma kind. It's great. All right. Hold on to your chunks, everybody. We got this. I got your back.
Got your back.
Love you. I love you.
I'm sore.
I should not have brought that up.
I know.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for the Virginia said to lean into our characters and just let them be little dummies. And that's great acting advice. Oh, one more story. My sister, Joy, my baby sister, contacted us and was like, her youngest daughter, June, is Templeton in Charlotte's Web in the school play. And she was like, she's like, we're reaching out to Uncle Greg and Aunt Holly because they're performers. And do you have any advice for June for her play? And I said something like, remember that if you ever feel nervous, that means you're excited, like, and you're excited because this is something you want to do. And the excitement is wonderful. And like, so it means that you care. So like, have fun with it. And remember that those those butterflies are excitement. And Greg said,
I said if you
ever want to laugh, I'll let you say it. It's your word.
I just said if you ever want to get a laugh on any line, just say the line and then take the rat tail and twirl it around and stare at the audience.
Just do a straight like take to the audience. Just break the fourth wall. Just mug. He's just teaching her how to mug from the beginning. But she would get laughs, and she did. She already did the weekend of Charlotte's Web show. So I got to find out if she tried to pull any laughs.
I mean, Templeton. Come on, you are the comedic engine of Charlotte's Web, because otherwise it's a terribly depressing story, right?
Is it depressing?
Yes, Charlotte's Web is so sad.
Because they kill.
No spoilers. No, they don't kill.
What did Charlotte write in the web? What was the word, like truth or something?
I can't remember.
Wisdom.
I'm dying. Bye. Oh, it was Paul Lynn as Templeton. That is amazing. I've never even put that together. Of course. Yeah, smorgasbord. Come on.
I think I got scared as a kid because I was afraid Templeton was drunk because he was acting drunk, and I was like, "Oh, he got drunk on like just like food and stuff, right?" But I remember there being
he was a complete food addict.
Pick up like bubbles and stuff, and I was like, "Oh no, is he drunk? Like this is really bad. You're not supposed to get drunk."
Some pig was in the web. Some pig. Yeah, it's a terribly sad story.
It is?
She dies. Charlotte.
Oh man, y'all, I had a spider fight this week. I removed a spider from my house, and then I
removed the spider from the house.
That's true. I asked Greg, I found a spider. Greg took it outside, put it in another spider's web, and that other spider came out.
I didn't put it in the other spider's web. I usually put them over the balcony, and you were like, "No, no, no! You can't put it over the balcony. You
Well,
have
I
to put it
didn't
on the
want
ledge."
you to throw it. I thought maybe it
I
was
d-
rude to like throw it through the air. I was like, just set the Tupperware down and let it crawl out. But when it jumped out, it jumped right into this other spider's web. And I was like, oh no. Can a spider get, if it's not your web, can you get stuck in it? Or is it impossible for a spider to get stuck in anyone's butt web? I don't know if it comes out of their butt or not, but like, and then it was like in this other spider's web, and then this little spider came out, and the big daddy longleg spider was in the other spider's web. And I was like, oh no, I caused a spider fight. I was so upset, but I don't know if they fought. I couldn't
no,
watch
they
it.
fought. I thought you said when you went out and they were fighting.
No, I didn't see. I turned away. I was assuming maybe a spider fight, but I shouldn't assume that. Maybe they were like, hey, you're cool and you're cool, and I'm gonna go make my own web. But I hope that's what happened. God damn it. I don't
Better to
want to
just
cause
put
a
them over
spider
the
fight.
balcony. They land in the tree.
You think you're just giving him a ride? You're
Yeah.
giving him a like, wee, I'm sailing.
Yeah.
I'm afraid they're gonna get hurt. I don't know, man. And then I felt guilty. I was like, it set up shop in my house. Why did I think that it needed to be removed? Because I'm like I have like supremacy in this house over these other creatures or something. I was like, that's an ugly. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm way too fucking sensitive.
I started this recording 5 times.
Okay,
and
I'm
I
starting.
keep
Here we
starting.
go. Hiya. Oh
No,
wait, you didn't start it.
no. Now you
promise
can't
you this
jump
time.
into it.
Sorry, I'm talking about spider fight. I'll just talk. Sorry. I'm ready. I
Okay.
promise.
Oh my God. That's going to destroy Holly.
Virginia had a spider?
Had a spider farm for several years as a kid.
Whoa. Holy
You couldn't have
shit.
said anything.
We gotta talk. I'm
No.
actually so curious about this because I'm scared of spiders. It's so cliche, but I also am fascinated by them ever since I read that one book, The Sensory World of Animals. What was that book called? Anyway, we're starting. Did you hit record?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Here we go. I gotta talk to you about Spider Farm someday. Did you record?
Yeah.
Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we're giving our mega church a tiny family feel. We loved it. I'm not gonna say that part. Tiny family feel. And sorry. Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we're giving our mega church a tiny family feel. And per usual, I'm joined by my co-host. He's the youth pastor for our high school ministry called Climax. Please welcome my friend Gray Haas.
He is risen indeed. Hallie, how are you?
Oh, I am so blessed. I've been getting over something, some kind of spring something or other. But you know what? I've been praying about it, and I know God has healing hands. And nothing is impossible for God, even a little postnasal drip.
I know, Hallie. You've really had what I would consider swollen eyes, swollen face, swollen. Like your whole face kind of looks like it's you've got a sick face right now.
Yeah, well, that's also, I think I'm having a reaction to something. It's an allergy or something. My face is more swollen, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, my
and you
left
can't
eye,
smell, you can't taste,
I can't smell, I can't taste.
you can't remember things.
My left eye is so swollen, it's almost shut. Do you see how my left eye won't open?
Yeah. Oh, that
And,
looks like you got a bee sting or something. You forgot where you parked your car.
My kid's trying to tell me I got COVID. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. That doesn't even exist anymore.
I know.
That's not a thing. That's something that they just tried to use to throw a president out of office.
Well, Hallie, we are so blessed to be here today. We're recording this episode live with our, some of our friends over on YouTube. And of course, a lot of the suggestions for today's episode have come from our Supercast members. Isn't that right?
You know what? I want to tell people that if they join Supercast, that it is going to get them a ruby in their crown in heaven someday. And who wouldn't want a very bedazzled crown? You don't want a plain crown in heaven. You want your crown to be, on point. You want it to be popping off, as they say.
Well, I don't want to poo-poo that idea, Hallie, but I'm having a bit of an issue right now anyway with things that are bedazzled, as you put it.
Really? So what's bedazzled?
Well, I came home from a long day working with my teens at Climax the other night, and it was supposed to be Popsicle's birthday.
Oh,
Now,
happy birthday, Popsicles.
yeah, well, whatever. I wanted to, and Clay. I'm not sure if I've mentioned before, but my friend Clay
Clay Mason
Mason Bannerman
Bannerman?
and I had talked about, what to do for Popsicle's birthday. I said I would be supportive of whatever that was.
Aw.
Of course, I thought it would be really fun to go take him to play whirly ball, which
Oh.
is a really, it's what I think is fun for children of all ages, which is essentially a tackle. It's using bumper cars, but in a sort of tackle football scenario.
Oh, cool.
And if people aren't familiar with whirly ball, it's a real thing. You can look it up. But so I had reserved a whirly ball court, and then I got home and I walked through the door, and our entire house, Clay's whole place has been transformed um, into what I can only say is a bedazzled nightmare.
What?
And
The house?
the whole house, and everything is pink. Everything had jewels all over it.
What?
Not real jewels, mind you, just those plastic ones.
Like the stuff you get at Michael's?
And I hear this loud music playing, and there are about 40 children running around all dressed up in pink and or in horse costumes,
What?
and they're just playing a song on repeat. And I find out that Popsicles is having a Pink Pony Club birthday. Bless you, Hallie.
Sorry, I told you I got this postnasal drip.
I know you just anyway. If you, Hallie, so I go in there and I'm and I'm like, what is this? Apparently,
What is it?
apparently it's this Chapel Rowan thing,
Oh, no.
and Popsicles and his little friends are all into it. Of course, DJing the party, and I wouldn't call it DJing because it's just the same song over and over. Up on the balcony overlooking the living room,
Oh, no.
Donovan Geo
Oh, no.
has got a unicorn hat. He's got a unicorn head on. Of course, he's just wearing his Y fronts, and he's
grieves the
playing
heart of
that
God.
song over and over. Pink Pony Club, I'm gonna keep on dancing. And I
that's
said,
a Chapel Rowan thing?
yes.
Oh,
And I
sick.
said, we've got to shut this down, guys.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Is what it is. So Popsicles thinks he's into Chapel Rowan now. Do you
Yeah.
think Donovan Geo introduced him to that?
I don't know, because they just kept on dancing.
Why would a bunch of little boys want a pink house?
I don't know. And I asked that.
Oh, it grieves the
and they
heart
just
of
kept
God.
on dancing.
Yeah. What?
And then I shut off the song,
And then what happened?
and then they kept on dancing.
Oh, no.
So I just said,
Did you break up the party?
I couldn't. I kept trying. I tried everything.
And what happened?
They kept on dancing.
Oh.
So I said, I can't deal with this. And I went to Starbucks and did a Bible study.
You know what? I think he could be arrested for being in Y fronts around children, to be
all the
honest
kids
with
had Y
you.
fronts on. It was kind of part of it.
That was the dress code?
Yeah, I think it was like either dress as a horse. I think it was either dressed as a horse, dressed as a princess, or dressed as somebody who wears Y fronts.
That's
so-
sick.
and
Were
they
the
just
Y
kept on
fronts
dancing.
bedazzled?
Yes, of course. That's what I mean. It was. They kept saying this is kind of the Chapel Rowan thing, and I was just going, guys, this is not positive. And
Man, I wonder, did all those other kids' parents approve of that? I mean,
they were there too, and they just kept on dancing.
oh no. I think when it's like that, you just kind of have to like shove everybody outside and lock the door.
I did,
You did?
and they kept on dancing.
Oh no. I mean, I would have sprayed them down with the hose or something to get it to stop.
It's just sick. So that was my Friday night after working, over. I worked so much this week, Hallie. I had youth events almost every single night, and all I wanted to do was just go relax, hang out at Whirly Ball and watch children drive cars around, essentially. And then it turned into this whole thing.
And when they're driving the little cars around, are they throwing heavy balls at each other's heads?
They're sort of whipping. It's not a heavy ball. It's a wiffle ball that they have on a highlight stick. And you try to throw it through a sideways basketball hoop.
Oh, cool.
This is a real thing, and people need to look it up. Anyway, Hallie, how are you?
You know what? I'm just really feeling the presence of God in my life lately, and I'm so grateful for it. My house is luckily not covered in pink. Thank goodness. My house is my house just kind of looks like a Home Goods now because I just bring everything from Home Goods into my house and
Oh,
put it
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you gotten any new giant letters that spell things on the walls?
I love word art. I've got it everywhere. I've got all the laugh loves and
Yeah,
everything.
you've got family,
Mhm.
faith,
By the
friends.
back door, I have a backdoor friends are best.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take one down because my daughter was quoting it and said it was Nelson Mandela, and I said, "No, I think it's Pastor Steve." I always thought it was a Steve quote,
Oh,
and
which one was it?
it said something about like believing in yourself or something, and I said, "You know what? I don't know if that's a good sentiment anyway, because kids shouldn't be allowed to believe in themselves
Yeah, how
because
about
they
believe in
might."
God?
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're telling kids to believe in themselves, well, you got to keep in mind that kids want to eat nothing but Twinkies and ding dongs for dinner.
Yeah.
So, that's why when they're under my roof, they're under my authority. You know what I mean? We got to occasionally have some sauteed spinach or whatnot. And we got to occasionally give it up to God. We have to constantly give it up to God. Anyway, I just I wanted to tell you that I'm gonna put you on the top of my prayer
Oh,
list.
thank you.
And I hope you got all the pink out of your house because it truly does grieve the heart of God. And I thought you were gonna say it was something Barbie related, and that's totally out of style. That was like
Oh,
summers
yeah.
ago.
I was hoping that it was so weird because like the whole Barbie thing came and went so fast, and I was kind of hoping that we would all have like an Oppenheimer summer where we'd all dress like Oppenheimer because that was cool, wasn't it?
Well, I mean,
I didn't see it because it seemed long and boring, but I like all the suits and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
well, maybe it'll be a conclave summer because I think this Pope movie is sweeping the awards seasons and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. What do you think? I guess, and I'm not sure, but I guess the Pope died.
Oh, I think
Did
that
you hear about
happened.
that?
It
Yeah, I think it did
happened
happen.
before. It happened like a decade ago, and then it happened again, I think.
Right. And,
It's just weird that they have this head of state and it's just a human. They imbue him with all this uh 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 I don't know, like magical powers and stuff, and then he dies.
I know. Yeah, I feel like right there, there's already kind of a thing. I'm going, guys, you don't need a pope. And I have so many Catholic friends that I've brought to Twin Hills, and they go, you know what? This is better because you get all the what I would consider best parts of the Catholic stuff, which is a beautiful building, art by some of the great masters of the artistic world. I mean, we have I'm not sure if you've seen the new mural, or I guess it's a fresco that you if you go in down hallway J. I mean, there is a fresco that they're putting in right now.
Awesome.
Oh, but I think the artist's name is like, and I don't like to name names, but um, Peter Tittlesman. He's
He's
a
awesome.
Midwestern trained
Mhm.
fresco artist,
Mhm.
and if I mean,
Mhm.
yes, you can have your Michelangelos, but we have a Tittleman.
Yep, he did the fresco at the Pasta Bravo on Keystone at the
Oh, he
Crossing.
did.
He does a lot of Italian restaurants that have crumbling walls and stuff, and he's able to make it look old.
Oh, it
It's
looks
cool.
old, and I will bring Catholic friends, and I don't really have many Catholic friends, but every now and then I will meet a Catholic, and I'll say, "Yeah, maybe your cathedrals could use a Tittleman," and they see the Tittlemans, and they're just going, "Yeah, but I don't see anything I don't see how this is any different than what you might see in Rome or whatever.
Well, I get that they like to do a lot of pomp and circumstance in the Catholic Church, and I guess that's fine. But you know what? What we have learned with the way that, America specifically has really advanced, the postmodern church, to be relevant and to seamlessly fuse, these Bronze Age stories with pop culture to
Yes.
show people how relevant it is. It's like, I think the Sistine Chapel and all that, those paintings are really cool, but like Twin Hills is proving, we can do that here with Pete. Um, and honestly, you don't need all the incense and the robes and all of that stuff.
Well, you can buy candles here at the store. I mean, we sell Twin Hills branded candles.
And
If
they
you want a
smell better
candle,
than a Yankee
they smell
candle.
amazing.
And but that's just so that if you can grab stuff in here on your way home, so you can get to have more family time together. But all of these popes in their robes are burning the it's going to be white smoke, it's going to be red smoke, it's going to be black smoke, and the people get all excited. You don't need all
You
that,
don't need all
because
that.
really all you need, I mean, it would be so cool if they would let us into Vatican City. We could put in strobes, we could put in drum kits, we could put in some some big speakers cranking the Hillsong,
Yeah.
I think they already have speakers set up so that people can hear the Pope talking, but
Well, not right now. They're not. And actually, I want to just to go back to the candle thing. I just want to let everyone know we have 2 new scents in the bookstore right now. There's a fresh cut grass one.
it's awesome.
It is amazing. I burn it all the time. And then there's also one that smells exactly like Home Depot, and that's really good too.
Yeah, I love the
It's
smell of Home
basically
Depot.
Home Depot scent. I mean, and I guess maybe one other thing that we have that is similar to, or that they have that's similar to us, is that they have the Pope Mobile, which is, I guess, a little glass bubble that they drive the Pope around in so everybody can see him. We have something similar. Steve has it's an all black. It's basically what the president uses, Lincoln Town car, and also an all black Lincoln Navigator that he is picked up from and taken back and forth to his home from the back of the auditorium. But what Steve did, which I think is fascinating, is, did you know, Hallie, that it's actually it's a glass bottomed Lincoln Navigator?
It's awesome.
So it's like a glass bottom boat, but he can see everything on the road was in there, because I guess it's all blacked out and you can't see inside it, but he can see out, and he can also see down, which I think is really cool.
That's something you wouldn't think. Like, do you need to see the road beneath you, while you're driving? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he just, but isn't that interesting that Steve, and it's got obviously big moon roof on the top, so he can see up, down, he can see out, and it just it gives Steve the ability to see all around him, even though you can't see in, because I don't think that's really that important, because obviously, and Steve would say this, yes, Steve talks to God, but he's not the only one who can talk to God. And that's what the Pope is saying, and that's what the Pope brags about a lot.
Well, the thing that's so cool about Steve is that he doesn't need all the robes and the hanging tassels
No.
and the hats, that that some of those hats look and you know what? We get to see Steve's beautiful head of hair.
One kid at the Pink Pony Club party was dressed as the Pope, and I couldn't believe that. But he also had Y fronts on and a unicorn kind of thing coming out of his head.
Oh my goodness!
But a big Pope hat and the robes and the whole thing. And I just said, I think that could be offensive, but then again,
I think that is offensive to see a Pope outfit, but with Y fronts on the bottom.
But I don't know. Then the president, tweeted out a picture of him as the Pope, and I thought that was very funny, because it was kind of like, just a funny troll.
Well, he's just trying to show that he's got a sense of humor.
I know, he's so funny.
And that's the thing that's so nice about Christianity, specifically, like, the American version that we have really honestly, I don't want to say perfected, but honestly, the Bible is
I think you
perfect
can say
and
it,
Jesus
yeah.
is perfect. And so it is that I just wanted to get back to Steve gets up and gives messages, sometimes in a real classy pair of jeans. You can tell that they've been pressed with an iron.
Oh, yeah, they're
And
excellent jeans.
and that's the nice thing, is the Pope's putting on all these tassels and covering up his bald spot and all this stuff. And Steve's like, "Hey, look at this great head of hair. Look at this fit bod." And I'm wearing jeans just like you. People look nice in the auditorium on Saturday nights and Sunday mornings, but Steve's like, "I'm just like you.
I
I'm
know.
also in a nice pair of jeans with a perfectly crisp button-up shirt, not even a tie." Some
Yeah.
pastors are always in suits and ties and stuff. Not necessary. We don't need all of that, because we just need to keep our eyes on Jesus, not on the bedazzled, bespectacled, bespoke, robe that some guy's wearing.
And I thought, one of my Catholic friends who's no longer Catholic, once I showed him the Tittleman
Oh,
fresco,
awesome.
but he said, a lot of times the Pope is speaking what they say is called ex cathedra. And I was like,
What?
what's that? And, he basically said, this is when the Pope is using his, God-given authority to speak on behalf of, the church, and what rules are, what goes. And I thought, this is the difference, where if we had something like that, we would tie it in with something that's relevant. Like, I mean, I'm like thinking ex cathedra. I'm thinking like catheters as something like we would
Yeah,
we
I
would be
thought
able to.
catheter too.
Yeah, I thought catheter. So it's
Yeah,
like,
and you don't
if you're
want people
speaking ex
thinking about
catheter,
that.
yeah, well, or you brand it and you say, hey, we know there are older people here today that might need that. We have that in the bookstore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like we have the candles. The candles are so good.
yeah. I highly recommend the candles.
Well, the lazy river is opening up, Hallie, and
Yes.
that is great, even though there is still a lot of ice out there.
Yeah, the ice will not melt
It will
this
not
year.
melt.
It is pesky, man. It is deep and it is thick. It's like a cube of ice that you could, carve into a fancy party.
And so I do want to warn everyone that even though it is heated, it is, it's still kind of ice on top, hot down below. And so you want to be careful out there. And I think that's one of the things that when we say spring has sprung around here, and we celebrate spring as soon as Easter is over, that means Jesus came back, spring can start. And there are people that are braving the elements, as it were.
And I'm wondering, and maybe I'll bring this up in a leadership meeting, but I'm wondering if we should continue to call it lazy.
Right.
We might, speaking of branding, we might need to brand it better, because Christians are
aren't
very
lazy.
rarely lazy.
They're not.
If you come down with the flu, okay, fine, you can get to bed. But otherwise, you got to get up, you got to get out there. We got to get souls out of hell and into heaven. We got to be pounding the pavement. We got to be, carrying on the ministry of Christ. We got to be my son Day was telling me that type of thinking is just internalized capitalism. And I
What?
was like, I don't think you can internalize capitalism. It's not, you can't eat it. You can't, digest it.
Right.
I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but he's been telling me I have internalized capitalism inside of me because I can't let myself, rest, or, for instance, get over this summer cold that I had,
Yeah, your
spring
face just
cold that I
continues
had.
to swell.
Yeah, now I think my left eye is shut completely. Look at that.
How
Can
many
you
fingers
see
am I
that?
holding up?
Oh my goodness. What was that? 4?
No, it was two. It was 2.
Oh wow. Yeah,
So you're seeing double, and your eyes are swelling.
yeah,
You
so
better go to see Dr. Crisp.
I do need to get in to see Dr. Crisp. And if not, I could just call Dick Epps, see if he could bring by some just Dayquil or something.
Oh, he can do that. He makes his own Dayquil.
Is that right?
Well, it's a similar. He said it's better than Dayquil, and he actually got in a bit of trouble for it. He said because someone said this isn't FDA approved, but luckily we don't have that anymore. So now he can just make it and sell it wherever he goes. And so a lot of times I'll have him fix a door jamb or something. He'll bring some of his homemade Dayquil by, or he's got he's got a really, really great creatine alternative that gives you this amazing pump. And so I've been using that too, that he said is just pulverized bison marrow that he dries himself, and he hunts the bison.
Wow. You actually just made me realize I have a little bit of hope. That might be cool with RFK in there, and with our the administration taking healthcare and all that in a new direction. This might be awesome. I mean, now that they're once they make women's healthcare fully illegal and all that, and maybe they could. What I'm trying to say is maybe with the new direction we're taking, they're going to open up all the locked things at CVS and Walgreens.
Oh,
it's
right.
so annoying when they lock up all that stuff. Maybe they're gonna, I'm just trying to get some Sudafed so that I can get my eye open.
Well, that's because
it's all locked up, and you can't get someone to come unlock it and whatever. So hopefully now they're gonna unlock all the stuff.
I know, but Hallie, that's also just to keep teens safe, because teens will take anything and try to snort it. That's what I've realized.
That's the problem.
So it can be, I found out that a bunch of teens had figured out you could take Vicks Vapo Rub and put it up your nose, and then it just gave them this unbelievable rush, and they had to. And I went to CVS and said, time to lock up the Vapo Rub too. I mean, they'll do it with anything. Teens are that essentially have half brains, damaged brains at this part of their development, and they're just going to try anything and everything. Hallie,
my son Day was he was asking me, he wanted to go get a COVID vaccination. I was like, those aren't even legal anymore.
No, it's not. It's illegal.
Yeah, I was just reading that the U.S. government is going to they're going to stop approving vaccines, and my son Day was like, we're going to have to start taking vaxcations.
What's that?
A vaxcation where you go to Europe or you go to Canada or Mexico to get your vaccination.
Oh my goodness. Well, stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, Hallie, you're out of town next week, isn't that right? You're off.
Well, I'm taking myself on, speaking of a vaxcation, I'm taking myself on a vacay for Mother's Day.
Oh, wow. And you're going to the Hollywood and you're going to the Wisconsin Dells?
Yes, I love the Dells. It's so, a lot of times when you go in some of the rooms that have indoor water slides, it feels like you're in a greenhouse. It feels good to me. I like feeling warm and like I'm at a spa.
And are you going to any shows?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to. Well, I mean, as you know, I was already in Branson and at the Opry twice this year.
Yeah, and Silver Dollar City. You said you were going back when they opened that back up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna see most of the shows that they're showing up at the Dells. I'm going by myself.
Love it.
Because you know what? I said every year I hope that my husband Lance Labont is gonna conjure up something special, maybe surprise me, go out of his way, do something to make me feel honored, you know.
And I'm sure he does.
I mean, basically, I'm so excited because I think, speaking of the new administration, I think I'm about to get a $5,000 payout for all of my children.
Oh, wow.
And I'm waiting for that payout to come. And when that comes, I might go to New York and see a bunch of shows.
Oh, wow. I mean, I've heard that there are better shows, though, that honestly, New York has nothing on the Wisconsin Dells or Branson or any of those places. I feel like you're just going to see a bunch of liberal crap in New York. And there you're going to see, I've heard that a lot of, good Christian performers on Broadway want to be in Branson and they want to be in the Dells, because that is where really the best work is happening.
Well, I figured after years and years of always quietly hoping Lance will do something and then being devastated and disappointed when he doesn't, because you know what? That's not who I married. He's not somebody who's going to be, doing thoughtful gifts.
Yeah, you just have to accept that, though. That's not who he is. He does so many other things so well.
Yes, and so, I'm not going to go be honest with my husband, Lance Labont, and say, do this, do that. I'm not going to, he's the
Well,
head of the
then you just turn
household.
into a nag.
That's right. And so what I'm going to do instead of communicating with him is I'm just going to do it for myself. I'm
Oh,
going to
that's
be like,
great.
this is what I want to do. And I'm going to treat myself. And so I'm going to be out of town. All my kids, my son Day and all my daughters were
Oh,
like, Mom, what day can we do something special for you? They're, planning all the things that, I secretly wish my husband, Lance Labont, would do. And I'm like, you know what, kids, take the year off, save your money.
yeah.
And because don't
Because you're
spend
going
it
to get a
on me. I'm not
$5,000 check
worth
one
it.
day for dealing with all that junk that you have to deal with.
That's right. That's right.
And you can go and take. I mean, think about the vacation you could take for $5,000 in the Dells. It's basically like
$5,000. I get one for every single daughter. Think about how much money that is.
wow, that's a lot.
I mean, I think maybe you get more for boys.
Oh no, really?
So it's a shame that I only
that
have
makes sense,
one,
actually. I
but-
guess if you think about it.
Well, the boys are going to grow up to make more money.
Yeah,
The taller they are, they're going to make even more
and
money.
just better for the economy in general.
That's right. So anyway, any hoodles, I'm gonna get up there. I'm gonna sit in the steam of those water slide rooms. I'm gonna and I have a really cool new bathing suit that has a full turtleneck up to my chin, long sleeves down to hook onto my thumb, has a long skirt that goes down to mid shin. It's a long skirt. It does make me feel a little bit like Ophelia when I get in the water, that my fabrics are going to drag me under. But I'm a good swimmer. I'm a good swimmer.
So you're just gonna sit in a hot tub and see some shows. Are you worried there's gonna be a lot of children around though? Because I know the Wisconsin Dells, a lot of times families go there.
Oh yeah, there are kids screaming at the top of their lungs the whole time. It almost sounds like the soundtrack they put on in a haunted house, or the type of hauntings that we put on during the harvest season.
Yes.
To scare kids straight. It sounds like a soundtrack of of a horror movie. The kids just scream. They scream when
Yeah,
they're
why do they do
happy.
that?
They
I know.
scream constantly. But it actually relaxes me, because having a house full of kids, once I get to the Dells and the screaming continues, it relaxes me.
Because you're like, it's not my problem.
It's so nice to be like, I just get to sit here and I don't have to worry about which screams are full of delight and laughter,
Yeah.
which ones are a conflict between kids where they're going to start choking each other or punching each other or taking each other's legs out, or which screams are like, oh, I'm seriously injured and
Yeah.
need attention. Guess what? Not my problem. Oh,
yeah,
it's exquisite.
not my kid, not my problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope you get to see. I'm not sure if it's open yet, but I guess Roseanne Barr was going to do a one-woman show on water skis about Mary Magdalene, and it sounded so good. And I think that was going to be at the Wisconsin Dells, but maybe not yet because it's still a bit cold. I think it was an outdoor thing.
It would be so cool to see Roseanne in one of those old-timey water ski formations where
That's what it is.
That is so cool.
It's Roseanne on top giving sort of monologues as Mary Magdalene while being, water skied around. And I thought, isn't she a bit old for that? But apparently not.
Oh, it would be so cool if you could get a bunch of comedians, specifically ones who have come to their senses, like Roseanne.
Oh.
She used to be a dirty, dirty liberal.
Yeah.
She really turned it around late in life. And that is confirming what I've always believed, which is that everybody's a pre-Christian.
Yeah.
And like, what other comics and comedians?
Oh, Jim Brewer. He's so funny now.
So good. So good. Dane
Cook.
Did he get his act together?
He probably always was. I think he was always funny, even though I don't really get comedy. I just like his energy.
Oh, the best one is that one guy with long black hair and the tight jeans.
Gallagher?
No, he was British, and he was in Forgetting
Gallagher
Russell
too?
Brand. He is so awesome now. He used to be filthy dirty, jumping into bed with every woman he could, cheating on Katy Perry, doing all this disgusting nonsense. And now Jesus got a hold of his heart.
Ugh.
And he is a Christian now, and not because, he's hiding from scandal, and Christians will protect you, because we have to protect good and upright men. But I just feel like Russell Brand he wasn't even funny, to be honest.
Oh,
Before,
no, he
when he
wasn't.
was dirty and hitting the booze and drugs and all that stuff, he wasn't funny at all. And now Jesus got a hold of his heart. He has been transformed. I believe he is out there hitting the streets, telling people he is absolutely born again. And the church has embraced him. And now I think he is funny.
He's so funny. And Gutfeld is so funny. I love Gutfeld. And so it's just awesome to see like people with actual values making good comedy now. And yeah, so I think you should go see that. I think Roseanne Barr, I forget who else. It's a one-woman show, but I forget who else is in it. Maybe Bob Barr or Bill Barr or there's some other bars in it. Hopefully Gutfeld makes an appearance because I think Gutfeld is so great.
I mean, speaking of Bill Burr, I got hope for him because he
seems like he's going to come around.
He's moving in the right direction. He seems like he is team white guy, and guy over gal.
Yep.
And white over. He seems like he's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and even though sometimes I know he likes to be contrarian, but he always gets to say, "Look, my wife is black, so I can say this stuff."
Mhm.
And I think it's only a matter of time before, he really figures out that there's, you can make a lot more money
Mhm.
if you appeal to a broader audience, and
Mhm.
that is going to be people with values and family values. It's
And
gonna be
he's
awesome.
right. He is allowed to say whatever he wants because of his marriage.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has full reign. It's like he has one of those golden tickets.
And
Like,
it's kind of like me because, Hallie, I've got a lot of friends who are
That's true.
black, and
That's true.
they say, we want to hear what you've got to say about this stuff.
and that's amazing that you have so many black friends, because I know you actually don't see race.
I know, I don't.
You can't see color.
Well,
It's
they
like-
have to tell me they're black.
and you just have to trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have, I've had some friendships fall out, especially with friends at the gym who have said, I'm black, and I've been like, okay, you are. And then it turns out that they're not. And I've had to say, why did you mislead me like that? And they said, well, it seems like it seems like you were like only wanting to hang out with me because I was black. And I was like, well, you told me you were black. And so that's just, that's what it's when you don't see color, it's super hard, because sometimes people will use that to mislead you.
It might be an American, Christian phenomenon that, so many people are obsessed with racism,
Obsessed.
anti-racism, all that stuff. And like, it's a phenomenon in the American Christian church. There are more American Christians who don't see color than anywhere on earth, I think.
Well, it happened to me in the parking lot the other day because, we've got all the ice trucks out there as well as the de-ice trucks. And the de-ice trucks are about to leave because it's spring. And one of the guys with the ice truck stopped me and
really?
said, could I see your papers? And I said, you know what? I understand, because he's probably like me and doesn't see color. And which I don't think, probably a lot of these ice guys don't see color. And I showed him, I said, I'm actually on a special visa because, I have all these, I basically I'm one of the best visas that you can buy, or have, because, I've been brought over because I'm really the only one who can lead youth in the way that I do.
Nobody else can do it.
And he
No
kind of gave
American
me
could.
he gave me a bit of a hassle, Hallie. And I just said,
What?
look, you've got the wrong guy. And then, then we ended up, then I sort of, we ended up connecting over some other things, including our shared love, for, for, the early work of Celine Dion and some other things that I did. Obviously, it's not important to this conversation, but we ended up connecting. Now we're bros, and but it was a bit touch and go there for a second because I think because he didn't see color, he was just like shaking me down for a second.
Well, now that you mention it, your accent might give you away as
Oh,
not
really?
being American. So if you are around ICE individuals, maybe just don't talk because from the look of you, they're not gonna
Yeah,
bug you
maybe that's what it
because you
was.
look. I mean, you've got on, thumb rings, you've got blonde hair,
Yeah.
you've got.
Well, this isn't blonde right now, Hallie. It's actually called Summer Sand.
Oh, cool. That is so cool. But I would say also because I always forget that you're not American. I mean, I know you're not an immigrant, but you're
No,
also
I'm not.
not
I mean,
American. And uh uh I do think, speaking of Home Depot, maybe you do need to avoid Home Depot and Lowe's for a little while because I've heard they're just rounding everybody up out of the parking lot
oh,
of
that's a
both
good
of
point.
those places. So, maybe send CMB to the if you need to go pick up some lumber or whatnot.
Well, I'm sending him soon because he's got to return a bunch of lumber because they built, they they should see the inside of the house. I mean, they built platforms.
What?
Well, they built stables inside our house for the Pink Pony Club because all the kids wanted to be in their own individual stables. And when I was like, you know, take that down, you know what they did?
What?
They kept on dancing. And that.
So should that one be posted? I don't know.
Don't know where our brains were.
Yeah, thanks for filling in some gaps for us. I was never going to come up with the name Russell Brand.
Thanks, y'all. That was a mega recording. Appreciate you all. Wasn't quite as unhinged as these normally get, but I think we were just trying to keep on dancing, as it were. Hey,
You
if
liked
you
it?
hey, if you all are into it, check us out on Supercast, mega.supercast.com. Best place to get all your mega stuff. The link is in the bio. And join us on Discord too. That's always nice to connect with you over there. And there's some real sweeties, good bits going on in there. Always love to see what's up in there.
Y'all, this week we got contacted by a new Supercast member who is a astrophysicist, scientist, whatever it's called, working on the James Webb Telescope. And this is so cool. And she was like, I'm working on this new survey where I'm looking, I'm going to mess it up, like 80
I think it was like
million
13
years
million
in the
light years
past
or
or
something.
something.
Yeah,
What was
13
it?
million years at like some kind of like medium-aged galaxies,
Yeah.
whatever that means.
And she was like, she was like, I was raised evangelical and to believe that the earth is 6,000 years old and all of the cosmos is 6,000 years old or whatever. And she's like, and now I'm looking into the past, like for millions of years. And it was so cool. This is so up my alley because I love space stuff. And and she was like, so I'm working on this particular survey, doing who knows, I'm not going to try to act like I know what the hell it is because I don't. But she was like, I had to name my survey of all these things that she's discovering and working on, and she named it Mega.
I know. Or the acronym is like some medium something galaxies
And she was like, I named this James Webb Telescope
survey
survey
mega.
Mega. And she sent us a link to the Mega survey, and
And
she
it was cool because there was like, and now they're looking for mega galaxies and stuff like that. It
yeah,
was really
and
great.
she named it after Mega, and which is so stinking cool.
We'll put the article in the Discord. It is pretty fun.
And I looked at the survey and everything, and then I started emailing with her back and forth, and she was telling me actually that like since this new administration, like it was just sitting on this like NASA panel for something, and there were men in the panel who just kept like
Interrupting her?
Yeah, and like not letting women speak and things where she was just like, this is getting egregious. And she was like trying to call it out and stuff. I've been going back and forth with her. She's so cool. And she was like, maybe I'll name my next survey Climax. And I'm like, both Mega and Climax are great space surveys.
Yeah.
Those names work. So anyway, she sent 2 questions for the AMA for us to do for our next mini.
Yeah, and if you if you don't know what that is, we have a little behind the scenes podcast over on Supercast. You can send us questions to the email, through the Discord, about what you want us to talk about, and we'll use them as inspiration.
We do need to get Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson as a Supercast. We try to get Neil deGrasse. I just emailed Bill Nye to try to get him on my other podcast. Who knows, on the Like Minds, the trivia podcast. So
how did you get his info to email him?
I emailed his manager.
Bill Nye would be such a cool one.
I know. Yeah, we should.
The other day, Greg did a live Like Minds show, and Andy Richter stepped in last minute because one of the cast members who was going to be in the show dropped out last minute. And Andy Richter's like, sure, I'll play. And he was so smart and funny.
Yeah.
And like
I guess he's like Jeopardy. He's a celebrity Jeopardy champion a few times.
And I just saw some clip about Andy Richter was on Celebrity. What's it called? Where you turn around the letters? Wheel of Fortune.
I truly was like, like when you were like turn around, I was like, dance moms.
And he kept reading everything when it would clearly be like a 4-letter word for something else. He would always say fuck. Where he would be like, it would be like, I can't even think of a phrase, like the best birthday or something, and he'd be like, the fuck birthday, and he would do that for every single time there was a 4-letter. It was really funny. But we should get Andy on Mega.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that
because he was a sweetheart, and he's so funny and so smart. I really, really liked him. Anyway. Shout out to Andy for being a smart, funny.
That's like that
sweetie.
Wheel of Fortune, right in the butt. Where is it? Right.
Oh, that one's so good. Right up the butt.
Right up the butt. It's one of the greatest Wheel of Fortune clips.
And what was it?
I can't remember what the actual answer was. But yeah. So we'll put that Mega space article in the Discord too if people are interested. It's really, really cool.
And so that'll be a fun mini coming up. We'll talk about the Mega survey.
Yeah, we should maybe Day and I maybe behind so we have a day and a day episode coming up with Brian Recker. If people are familiar with his work, he's ex-evangelical over on a lot of the socials, but he has a new book coming out. And I'll send you a Mega sticker, Kim Gaston. Yeah, we don't have stickers in the store, but yeah, just hit me up in the Discord. I'm always happy to drop stickers in the mail to anybody who wants them.
Just send us your address at the Mega Gmail.
Yeah, you can Mega Gmail.
Mega the podcast at Gmail.
Yeah,
and then
or
I'll
in the
send them
Discord.
to you.
Yeah,
we got lots of good stickers right now.
Yeah, if people want a sticker, we're always down to send.
Wait, who's Robert Evans? That's Behind the Bastards guy?
Yes.
Okay, let me put that on I have a list because in the last mini, we were asking people for guest suggestions. We got Steve Berg as a suggestion. We got now we have Robert Evans. I'm gonna write that down, and then I feel like we got one more.
Oh, it was
what was it? It was
I can't remember.
And let's do Richter too.
June's never been on. We should get June.
I love her. I still haven't. Oh yeah, I have met her. But I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. I would love to get her. Jason might be able to get us her. Mm-hmm. She would be great. Okay, let me put June down. And then
yeah, thanks. Any suggestions, throw them in the Discord. That's great.
And then did you Drew Tarver, we've tried.
I try Drew every 6 months. He's always so busy. But we will one day.
He's so June, Raphael, and then did you try what's her name? 8 a.m. stand up again, Marie Bamford?
Oh no, I need to hit her up. TeePublic doesn't do stickers. They just do tees and weird wall
But they
hangings
do
and
like
bags.
mugs and stuff. Yeah, the wall
Yeah.
hangings are always like, huh? But yeah.
But yeah, if you have if you want a sticker out in your one in the mail, always we'll send you that. Okay, we're at the top of the hour. This was so great. We went long, but
Oh,
always
you
a
sweeties,
pleasure
thanks
to
for
be with
being
y'all.
here. Thanks
And
for being here.
we sure do love you. Check out the Supercast if you're so inclined, and we will. And a great episode today with our friend Allie Price coming up with Christ on a cracker, bread for communion.
She's
She's
such
a
a
delight.
sweetie. Go on the Bastards podcast, Virginia. Is that what you're saying? I gotta listen to that one. Hey, thanks for being here, you sweeties.
Bye, y'all.
Have a good Sunday, and we'll see you. Are we doing it?
Prop's been on. Propaganda's been on. Mega. You should check his. That's Little Bloodbot.
Lil Bloodbot. He played Lil Bloodbot.
Oh.
Oh my
Thanks.
gosh. Yeah.
Thanks, Kim.
That's so cool.
very cute.
Yeah. We'll send stickers. Are we doing one of these next week?
We're off for the next 2 weeks, and then we'll be back in 3 weeks. But yeah, truly, if we have Climax stickers and we have Mega stickers, so we'll send that to anybody. And yeah, thanks, y'all.
All right. See you next time. Mwah, 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 mwah.